back with the Game of the Year for Shack News, and number 8 is right behind us. We have Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's very, festive, Christmassy, with all the snow and
I'm so scared. Oh my gosh, the snow and the...
Can you, commit to this?
No.
Remember how after a long spat of mediocre sequels, Lara Croft had become something of an industry punchline? Crystal Dynamics set out to revive the flailing franchise with 2013's Tomb Raider, and tremendously succeeded. In this year's Rise of the Tomb Raider, the studio iterated on what works, largely threw out what didn't, and proved this heroine still has plenty of room to grow. The marquee features seem directly aimed at fan complaints, particularly the addition of more tombs to raid. The standout was the core gameplay loops of upgrades and crafting. You explored every nook and cranny because you wanted, nay, needed to turn Lara into an unstoppable force of justice. On top of that, Crystal Dynamics accentuated Lara's role as an archaeologist. Her intelligence is a game mechanic, and we love how it logically addresses items you can't read yet as her being rusty. It highlights her knowledge, but just doesn't hand you everything. They made the optional tombs the side missions they should be. Optional. But the incentives were good enough to make you want to take time to finish them. You could finish the game without them, but you probably don't want to, because they make life a lot easier. And these tombs are worth finishing. The design and puzzles are actually well crafted and sometimes gorgeous. They dealt with the daddy's issue trope well, because that was always part of the character, and they couldn't exactly ignore it. Rise of the Tomb Raider addresses it head on in a pretty grisly fashion. And without spoiling anything, it lets Lara move past it. Instead of that shadow looming over her for several games, we had one game where she dealt with that baggage and became her own person. As a building block towards a franchise, this was a best way to deal with that aspect of the character and move on. Rise of the Tomb Raider gives Lara her own arch-nemesis organization that can be explored over the course of several games. Constantine was the big bad of this game, but he's just a cog in the machine. Also, he was a pretty sympathetic cog once more revelations came out about his rationale and background, and that's not something you can say for many action games or even many works of action-oriented fiction in general. Nathan Drake may have stolen Lara Croft's mantle, but this year she took it back. She's not just a lucky adventurer with a too cool attitude, she's a smart, capable survivalist. Your move, Naughty Dog.